Welcome to Sundust, Short Horror Stories, the podcast where we dive into chilling tales of the supernatural, the unexplained and the downright terrifying. I'm your host, bringing you bite-sized nightmares perfect for those late-night listens. Tonight's story is called The Creaking Door. Settle in, turn down the lights, and let's begin. Winter is cold and dreary, and I've always hated it. Not because of the endless gray skies or the biting wind, but because it traps me inside the house for months on end. And this isn't just any house, it's haunted. My parents refuse to believe it, of course. They chalk it up to old pipes, acetylene foundations. But I've lived with the odd occurrences my whole life, faint footsteps echoing in empty rooms, objects shifting places when no one's looking. The creepiest of all, though, is the basement door. Every so often, almost like clockwork, it opens on its own, always around 4 a.m. You hear it start with a soft click of the doorknob, then 5 agonizing seconds of silence, followed by the slow, deliberate creak as the door swings open. It's excruciatingly slow, the kind of sound that crawls under your skin and stays there. My eyes snap wide open, fear gripping my chest like ice, and I lie frozen in bed, heart pounding. Then come the footsteps, slow, deliberate thuds across the kitchen floor overhead. As if someone is pacing, searching, curiosity always wins over terror. I bolt from bed, race down the stairs, flip on the lights, and find nothing. Not a trace. The door stands ajar, but the kitchen is empty. This happened nearly every night, until last night. It started the same, the click, the silence, the unbearable creak. Footsteps followed. I rushed downstairs, expecting the usual emptiness. But this time, a woman stood in front of the basement door. I knew instantly she wasn't alive. Her form was translucent, like mist caught in moonlight. I could see the wall right through her. Her eyes were voids, black as the deepest corners of space, swallowing all light. She stared at me for a moment, then turned and descended the basement stairs. Pausing halfway, she looked back and beckoned with one pale finger for me to follow. How could I refuse? I'd waited years to uncover the truth behind these hauntings, and strangely, for a ghost, she was beautiful, ethereal, with long flowing hair and delicate features that pulled at me like a trance, hypnotized. I followed her down into the darkness. The basement felt colder and blacker than ever. I could barely see my hand in front of my face, then suddenly she vanished. I spun around, panicked, alone in the void. Moments later, she reappeared in the center of the room, glowing faintly like a distant star. She gazed down at the concrete floor and wept silently, tears streaming down her translucent cheeks. After about 40 seconds, she faded away. The next night, it happened again, like clockwork. The creak, the footsteps, the chase downstairs. I followed her into the basement once more. Again, she materialized, weeping over the floor, but this time, she looked up at me with those endless black eyes and pointed directly at the spot beneath her feet. She was trying to tell me something. It hit me like a chill. Something, or someone, was buried under the concrete. The following day, I rented a jackhammer and tools. With my neighbor's help, we broke through the slab. After an hour of grueling work, we uncovered it. A full human skeleton buried shallowly beneath the floor. I called 911 immediately. As the police arrived, my neighbor shared a story he'd heard years ago. The previous owner had reported his wife running off with another man. A month later, he packed up and moved out of state, never to be seen again. The 3-month investigation confirmed it. The remains were his wife's. He had murdered her and hidden her body right under our feet. To this day, the husband remains at large, a ghost in his own right. But after her remains were properly recovered and laid to rest, the haunting stopped. No more creaking door at 4 a.m., no footsteps, no glowing apparition in the basement. I like to think she finally found peace. It makes me happy knowing I helped her. But I still hope they catch that bastard someday. Creepypasta stories, scary stories, and original horror fiction. And that's the end of tonight's tale on Sundust Short Horror Stories. Did this one send a shiver down your spine? If it did, please hit that like button, subscribe for more chilling episodes every week, and leave a review. It really helps us reach more listeners who crave the dark and eerie. Tell us in the comments. Have you ever experienced something unexplained in your own home? Thanks for listening. Sweet dreams. Or whatever waits in the shadows. Good night.